Hello YouTube, this is Waynisha Smith and I am here to review Grimm episode 11. This episode we start right back where we left off. And they are trying to use what little keys they have. They have enough to just make up the map and just make up what little keys they have to find what the old Grimms that were in the Knights had hidden. And that's great. I'm so happy for them. Like, we need to hurry up and get to the bottom of these keys. These keys has been a thing since season 1. So we try to do this map thing, and they're still trying to figure it out. So after that, we cut to Officer Renard and his girlfriend and newfound love interest. I don't know if she's a Vessin, I don't know if she's a human, but she knows politics like the back of her hand. Like there's no tomorrow. And they have just spread some dirt around against their opponent that they are running against. And later on, that's not going to be an issue. So, and the girl's kind of like, I sort of want to not ready to go home yet, if you know what I mean. And then we're back to Nick, and they're still trying to figure out this map. And they're like, I would just put an X. And Nick gets a flashback from his mom, and his mom is like, once there were 7 keys about knights and stuff, and we as a people, those are our ancestors. And eventually they do find the X, and it's like the church, you know how on top of a church thing where there's the cross, but usually the cross is a little higher, but right here it's like the center. And when you turn the map, it looks like this. So they found the X marks the spot, and they now know where it is buried, or allegedly buried, but we all know it's buried there. So after they figure out the X marks the spot, they're all talking like, okay, so we need to hurry up and go and find out what they're buried. Black Claw knows about the keys, and Black Claw wants the keys. And the Vessin Council wanted the keys to stay buried, everybody, because they believe whatever the Knights had buried there, it could expose their world to the human world. And the Vessin Council is always about keeping the world safe. I like to address something about Black Claw. The thing about Black Claw is that they want to stop being hidden, to let the world know who they are. And I'm okay with that, but the thing is that there's a right and wrong way of doing everything. And it doesn't matter what you're doing or what reason why you're doing it. If you're killing people, no matter what you stand for, you're just going to look violent. I feel like I would be more on Black Claw's side if they weren't violent, if they would do a peaceful protest and doing it peacefully and standing up for themselves peacefully, trying to show the world who they are peacefully, non-violently. Then I feel like I'll be more on board with Black Claw and their plan. But it doesn't seem like that. It seems like Black Claw, it seems like only one side will be on top. Like, I feel like in a Black Claw mission, whenever you're at the Black Claw rallies, the only Vessin you see are the Vessin with claws and teeth. We don't see Reineken at the Black Claw rally. We don't see the Mouse people at the Black Claw rally. We don't see the Beaver people at the Black Claw rally. We don't see Vessin like that. The only Vessin we see at the Black Claw rally are Blue Bot, Vessin with teeth. We don't see Fox people at the Black Claw rally. So I feel like if the Black Claw would have got their way, of course Vessin will not have to hide anymore, and they'll try to force their own religion on the thing where they're sacrificing humans. But I only feel like the Vessin with claws and teeth will be on top. Like Loot Bots will be on top, Mavidias will be on top, the Cobra people will be on top, and at the bottom will be the Reineken, the Mouse people, and then the humans will be at the very bottom because they don't even churn. That's how I feel like Black Claw mission. I feel like there's going to be one strong powder top, and everybody's going to be divided in these sections, like who's higher and better than the other. I feel like that's more Black Claw's mission, but they're playing to Vessin's fears. and Veston's anger and frustration of having to be hidden all the time and promising a world where they no longer have to hide and be equal, and I feel like that's just simply not the case. So yeah, that's how I come down on Black Claw. But after let's get back to our review. Sorry, I rambled off there for a minute. So after Nick and it's been decided that Nick and Monroe are going to go to this place to get these keys, and they have to be off the grid for a while, and they have to travel under false names and pretense. Trouble said Black Claw knows who you are. If you travel with your real names and stuff, they're going to follow you and try to figure out what you're doing. And they might figure out that you're going after the keys, because Black Claw doesn't know where the keys are, but they'll definitely go if... excuse me, YouTube. I'm just like... I feel like my neck is crooked. But no, it's not. It's just the camera. So moving on, YouTube. So Trouble's like, okay, so Nick's like, okay, we're going to have to travel under false pretense. And Nick goes home and he tells Adeline that what he's basically doing. And Adeline is like, these keys are not worth it. They just are not. You should leave them buried. The reason whoever buried those keys wanted them to stay buried. And Nick is all like, I have to go because my grandmother had one of these keys. And Adam was like, oh, but she almost got killed behind these keys. You shouldn't. And he's like, I have to, because basically his grandma wanted him to find out, wanted this. I don't know if she wanted this, but I feel like he feels obligated because his grandma had one of these keys and his whole family had always been in danger because of these keys. So I think he feels like it's an obligation that he has to go do this. If not for them, but for himself. And I totally see why he feels that way. Like, I feel like his whole life was ripped apart because his parents and ancestors were involved with these keys. So after Nick goes to the Black Claw rally, not the Black Claw rally, after Nick and them, they leave off on their thing, and Hank and Wu takes it upon themselves to hunt down this new Vesson that is a hawk. He's not a condor, people. He's not a vulture. He is, in fact, a new Vesson, and he is a hawk. And he has great eyesight, and we see Meisner Vesson for the first time. Apparently, he's a Monfedius, and we only have dealt with a Monfedius once before. Just once. And the Mavedi and the new Vesson, they haven't said his name, but I just know he's a hawk, so we're just gonna call him the Hawk Guy. The Hawk Guy, he's like, I have been made, as in he knows that the authorities are looking for him now. And so he's like, I can't stay here. I just can't. I have to go now. And Lucian is like, no, we need to get this done. This cannot wait. We need this done. And they vogue, and we see Lucian turn into the Mavedius, and I'm like, wow, we finally know what he is. What's Meisner now? So anyway, we move on from that, and we head off to Nick and them finally made it to this church, and this church is empty. And it's okay to be empty. Like, churches usually don't be active until like nighttime service or on Saturdays and Sundays. So you expect for them to be empty during the day. And we see a new Vesson too. Some of you might think it's the mouse Vesson, but it's not the mouse. It's in fact a weasel. There's two new Vesson in this episode, and it's a weasel. I wasn't able to get much information on this new Vesson. All I know from this new Vesson is that it's just a weasel. They didn't put no information there. And I mentioned before in my other videos when I review Grimm is that I love it when they get into the background of the creature. But for this time, I'm going to let it pass because I'm more interested in the story of the keys. Maybe they can revisit these two Vesson another day. So they leave once they're told that nothing that old is here. But the preacher, I felt like, was lying, like he knows something's up. And they feel like they have to kill the Grimm. And I have to remember what Monroe say about the old country. the old country is a place where people are still deeply afraid of Grimms and still think that they are a threat. And so they leave, and the weasel creature and the blue bot basically speak and stuff like that, and they even get a rallying party because they want to go kill Nick, the Grimm that's in town. So at the end of this episode, let's go back to the rally where all the people are. And the captain's there speaking, so is the new mayor that's trying to run to be mayor. And he has been shot and killed. This whole time we think that the captain was going to die, because there is a rumor around that somebody from season 1 is going to die. I'm not ready to lose my team. Maybe Adeline can die, but I'm not ready to lose my team yet. I'm not ready to lose the captain. So the mayor has been shot, and we skip to where Nick and them are again. And Nick and them, they are at this place, and they are digging up stuff, and they hit something hard, and they lift up this rock, and then they fall into this deep, deep, deep hole. And the episode ends just like that. Nothing more, nothing less. But there's one thing in the episode I want to touch on. Juliet finally shows some emotion. Like, they say they might come after you, and Juliet just smiled, like, slightly, like, okay, let them come. Like, she's just hoping that she gets a chance to fight them. So this is going to be interesting. And I just want to touch on one more thing before I leave. I really hope Adeline stays good. I am tired of flip-flopping characters. They have to pick a side. I know some of you might not like Adeline, or you might not like Juliet this new way, but I want Adeline to stay good. I don't want her to flip-flop back to being a bad person. I don't like it. It's not my thing. I don't like it. I don't want to see Adeline being bad anymore. She needs to stay on this good side, because the next time I feel like she turns back bad, we should just kill her off and move on about our lives. That's all. So bye everybody. Have a nice day. This was Grimm, season 5, episode 11. And it is just heating up. This is great. I'm sorry for my lack of enthusiasm. It's just that I can't review it right after I watch the show. I have to be alone, and I want to be professional. So I have to wait until I'm alone. But I am very happy for this episode. This is the best episode from season 5. Episode 11 is my favorite episode from season 5. And I feel like that might just be topped with the next episode. But anyway, bye everybody. Enjoy yourselves.